The real reason Julius Caesar died wasn't simply a matter of daggers in the Senate. It was the chilling culmination of an existential fear that his singular, unparalleled ambition had destroyed the Roman Republic. Desperate men became convinced that only his blood could restore it. That fear, stoked by his increasingly autocratic rule, drove senators to the ultimate betrayal. By 44 BC, Gaius Julius Caesar was Rome. He had conquered Gaul, triumphed over rivals in civil war, and returned a demigod, celebrated by the people, feared by the elite. The Senate, once supreme, became a rubber stamp. He held titles like Dictator Perpetuo, Dictator for life, shattering centuries of Republican tradition. His statue stood alongside gods, his image on coins. Rome's most powerful families watched as Caesar consolidated power, bestowing offices at his pleasure. They saw not a leader, but a king in waiting, a monarch who would tear down the liberty their ancestors bled for. The question wasn't if he would become king, but when. And for many, that question was a declaration of war. If you're fascinated by the raw power plays and brutal realities of ancient Rome, the kind of ambition that reshapes empires, hit that like button for more stories from this incredible era. Out of this simmering dread emerged a desperate pact. The conspirators were Rome's most distinguished citizens, men like Gaius Cassius Longinus, a brilliant but fiery soldier, and Marcus Junius Brutus, celebrated for his integrity, a descendant of the legendary Lucius Junius Brutus who expelled Rome's last king. Their motive wasn't personal gain, but a perverted sense of patriotic duty. They believed Caesar had become too great, too powerful, a living threat to the Republic itself. Whispers turned to urgent conversations in hushed villas. Each man wrestled with the unthinkable, to strike down the most powerful man in the world, once their friend. The plan solidified, the Ides of March, during a Senate meeting at the Curia of Pompeii. The morning of March 15, 44 BC, dawned with an unnatural stillness, heavy with ill omen. Caesar had been warned repeatedly. His wife, Calpurnia, woke from a nightmare, seeing him stabbed, pleading with him not to go. Priests spoke of disaster. A soothsayer famously told him to beware the Ides of March. But Caesar, ever confident in his destiny, dismissed their fears. He famously told the soothsayer the Ides had come, to which the man replied, "Aye, Caesar, but not gone." As he prepared to leave, a slave attempted to warn him, a scroll clutched in his hand detailing the plot. But Caesar, inundated with petitioners, could not be swayed. He set off for the Curia, unknowingly walking into a meticulously laid trap. The Senate convened in a temporary chamber at the Curia of Pompeii, its walls adorned with a colossal statue of Pompey the Great, Caesar's slain rival, a symbolic, chilling choice. As Caesar entered, the conspirators moved in close. Decimus Brutus intercepted Mark Antony at the door, preventing Caesar's fiercely loyal right-hand man from entering. Inside, as Caesar took his seat, the conspirators crowded around him, feigning a petition. Tullius Cimber, with feigned urgency, pulled at Caesar's toga, the pre-arranged signal. Caesar, growing irritated, pushed him away. The air in the chamber, normally filled with debate, now crackled with a dreadful silence, broken only by rustling robes and accelerating heartbeats. Then, Publius Servilius Casca struck the first blow, a glancing wound to the neck. "Casca, you villain, what are you doing?" Caesar cried, disoriented. But the dam had broken. Daggers flashed in the light filtering through the high windows. The conspirators, in a frenzy, lunged. Caesar fought back, trying to escape, but was surrounded, path blocked by desperate men. He covered his head with his toga, a final, futile gesture. The cries, the metallic clang of blades, the heavy thud of his blood on the marble floor. It was chaos and betrayal. When he saw Marcus Brutus among them, his dear friend, raising his blade, Caesar uttered his last words, "Et tu, Brute?" "You too, Brutus?" A profound expression of disbelief and heartbreaking surrender. He ceased resisting, receiving 23 wounds before collapsing at the foot of Pompey's statue, staining its base. The conspirators believed they were saving the Republic, but did they succeed? Or did their act of violence usher in something even more autocratic? What do you think was the ultimate driving force behind their betrayal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The conspirators gambled everything on a single desperate act. They stood over Caesar's lifeless body, daggers still dripping, believing they had liberated Rome. But the silence wasn't freedom. It was the eerie calm before a storm. Their desperate gamble ultimately backfired, plunging Rome into another civil war and paradoxically paving the way for the very empire they had fought to prevent. Caesar's death meant to avert a monarchy, instead ensured its inevitable arrival. His legacy is a haunting reminder that even well-intentioned acts of violence can have unforeseen, tragic consequences, forever altering the course of history.